Good evening. I'm not sure you can hear my audio, so if you can hear, you can confirm that in the chat section. Tell me if you can hear my audio. Thank you, can and someone to confirm they can hear my audio. I won't be able to continue if I'm not sure if you can hear me. Clinton, can you hear me? All right, all right, all right. Thanks, Martin, for confirming that. Uh, you can open your mic and speak back so that at least I know I can hear from you. Okay, in the meantime, today we are going to be discussing and checking out how to consume APIs, that is REST APIs using Flutter, so that you can, because that's mostly how most apps will be built. You just have the UI part that is built with Flutter, then your your app. You have some API endpoints. I hope everybody understands what I'm talking about when I say endpoints and APIs. Okay, basically it's API or endpoints is when you're building an app, you might have the backend, which is has been written using a different language. So let's say you have it's your backend in Python, and your front end is done. Now the front end is an app, so it's done with Flutter. So the data that is coming from the backend will be served to your app using an API, that is REST APIs. We're using so okay, for now, because we won't have time to develop a full API, we're just going to be using an API that is we're just going to use an API that is free for use. So let me share my screen. Okay, hope you can all see my screen. The file is visible. So this is the app that you get when you create an Flutter app, just by using a terminal or just using your Android Studio to create Flutter project. Uh, As I said, we're gonna use an API that is already built, so we'll be using this API. It's free, so you can use it to test your apps, or you can use it to learn also if you want to. So it has resources such as posts, comments, albums, but it's just gonna be using posts. Then you see the routes that are supported for these. We have this get posts, then there's get, this one gets one post, then there's get comments, and then you can post. Okay, you can create posts using posts, or you can also edit a post, a selected post. You can also patch and put. Okay, put and patch, they are similar. Then have delete, which you can use to delete your posts. So I'm gonna use this is the URL up to here. This is the URL for this free API. So we're gonna use the posts part. So I come here. Okay, let's see. First, we go design how the post data looks like. So let's get a feeling of how it looks like. So if you get post, this is what you get back. A list with a JSON. This is JSON with the following properties. That is the user ID, the ID, and the title. Then there's the body. So our post to create a model with with those properties. So our string, that is the user ID. Have another one, still a string, that is ID. We have another one that is title, string title, and we have a string body. So those are there. This is just a class for post, but it's just a constructor for it. Sorry. Just a constructor to it. Say post, and this dot user ID. This dot ID. Have another one. This dot title. This dot. It's just a constructor for the posts model. It's how to create models inside with that is. So then we need to convert this model to a JSON. So it's use a factory method. So post. This will give the instance of the post. Instead of giving it just as an instance, you will also get the you get it in form of a JSON. the functions that really that get enough cost. So creator class is the one we're gonna use for getting the manipulating the API. So costs. So API. Let's call it that. Then inside the class we'll have now functions. So since it's an API, we use a future. A future because it will be calling an API, or it's something that will be going over the net. And over the net, you don't always get response automatically. There's a there's a delay. So use a future so that future works like this is asynchronous programming now. It allows you now to use methods such as async. Then for getting this is I would say get costs. You want to get the you, you do await. Okay, let me guess your costs. Okay, okay, you'll be getting back a post, not a string, but a list, yeah. So let's do response. You need something else when you're doing this. So you need HTTP package. I just add that to my dependencies. Dependencies. And Flutter is definitely run a get. That is now it's installing that package. You just call in put here. You get an exit code 0. You know it's a success. All right, successfully done it. So now we need to call it inside here so that we can use it. Just scroll here. It's just right here. Let's just import it now into our code. Okay. So now we'll be using it inside here. So for example, it allows you to call methods such as post, get, put, delete, all those methods you saw here. This HTTP methods here, get, post, put, patch, and delete. You can and more. That's not just what you can use. So you'll get. Let's create a response. Okay. Get a response from this is where the part where we call the API was just get the string. This is the endpoint. It's a string, so just URL goes to this will be equal to the endpoint for this one right here. So right there. So response equals to await. This is why you put await because now this method will run. And you have to wait for the response before you can consume it. http.get. Now you put in the URL as string right there, and it puts in the string URL, and then you're getting posts. So yeah. So this will create a URL that looks like this. That is visible. That looks like this. Yes. There. Posts. Okay. Okay, you can just put the post because most tutorials we do here will just be URLs for posts, not for anything else. As you can see from this, I think there's no change in his posts and this part here. So you can just have it in full there. So this points to this URL here. Cannot be assigned to. I don't know why it's not picking out. I think I need to use a parser. Let me see. Yeah. Need to use a parser for it. So I'm just gonna use a URL parser. But fix it as a plus. Select the class URI. Oh, sorry. So yeah, it's not working. Or it cannot be assigned to a string. No, that's the problem. That's the problem. Because this thing here expects URI. Yeah, this does not expect a string but a URI. So you can just use this as just a variable. Then you write the pass that. Then you get the URL there. Then whatever, like if this URL is called, you get this list back. This is what you'll get back, a list with posts inside it. So you need to consume that. So do a response. So let's create a variable for our posts list. But before we do that, let's just make sure we can convert this post into a varied JSON. So post dot from JSON and some map. So the way this thing looks here, this part here, this in that is a representation of a map. So you'll want to get JSON from the provide the type to the string, which this means it's this part here, it's a string, and the other part now will be one, two, this one, then this text here. This can be anything, so just say dynamic to be safe. Then returning that to JSON. So what you do now, you want to turn uh, the user ID here, which is this user ID here. So this is what you do. User ID equals to user ID. This is now the user ID that is coming from the other. So, it's like that. This is the user ID that is coming from the API itself. And the next thing is this ID. We still get it as an ID. I'm getting errors. It's better to find let's use this as a named parameter. So we go to the user ID then. Parameter you can give this is that from this is now safety now complaining. Okay, let's get to fix this very fast. That's now safety. You find that here. just fix this off screen. Start. I hope the window is visible. Okay. So instead of a virtual is a post from JSON. Now we're getting the data from the JSON side and now put that into an instance of a post. So we'll have things like user ID to be equal to JSON user ID, then have Um, this has title ID.
Check it. Can you hear me? Okay. So as we wait for check it to come back, I hope I'm audible. It was showing us uh, how to call the API, the main.dat, and well, I'm not well versed in that place, but I've used TP code API in one of my projects, and basically the approach is the same. Like the approach I used is the same as what Chege is showing us. So, in any serious development, you'll never do away with APIs and API calls. Yeah, and I know Ian is well versed in that region. I hope Ian can hear me. Ian, can you hear me? Ian, Ian, can you hear me? Clinton Paul. Well, I hope I'm not jiongeleshea hapa.
Yeah,
Clinton,
I can hear it. Yeah,
oh, unanisikia?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, okay. I was saying that it's not possible to do away with backend for any serious software developer. In one way or the other, you'll end up finding yourself required to use the APIs. I can see Chege is back. Chege, you find that if you're using okay, welcome my bro. Continue. Chege, uh, Chege, you can unmute yourself. Hatukusikii. Nice.
I'm back. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're clear.
So, it's the yes. So, get that title, and then the last thing you need is what is body. So JSON, then good. So, okay. So whenever you call this post, from directly just on the call, you just give you the JSON part of it. You don't have to do anything else to get now the instance, because now the class will just be a JSON class, not a class instance. So this we want to now get the return the response. The response you get, which was as I showed you, was a string to be the employees causing errors. So you now need to get the list to get back and scroll back. The response now contains the list of all the posts. So we want to first test if the status of the response is uh, if to check if response dot status called is equals to 200. 200 means okay, that means data was received back. For get, if you if a successful get, you get a 200 back. So you now you need to consume the response. Whatever whatever you'll get back will be inside the response body. So you need to first
Chege, can you hear me? You're on mute.
as you saw earlier, the post is inside it's inside a list. So we need to create a list here, which is what we're gonna call, and the list contains posts. Just we just initialize it, and whatever you get here, it's just equate that to be our post, which is also a list. You can just say it's an empty list. Then if the response score is 200, then the posts you get from our API here, we just put them inside that post. You can just print them here so that you can see what is returned back before we use it in our UI. So we just call the method. First, just use these for now. We're gonna call a method inside the post API. Call this method inside. Just resume it. Share my phone also. Maybe you should be able to see my phone too. So let me just take this back to implement. So here at the center, this body here, instead of posting this, we're gonna post the posts themselves. As in, so use something called a feature builder. As you notice, our function was a future. Uh, here, this one here. Our function here is a future, so we need to also consume it. You can only consume that inside a feature builder like this. Then create a builder for it. Builder now should give you back there. Should give you back. Should give you back a widget that you can now use to display your data. Uh, Choosing a feature. The feature you're consuming is inside post API dot post dot get posts. This one here. There's a feature. So you also check. Let me just reload this so you can see the changes that I've made. You change this to be posts like that. So user and if builder, so it's snapshot. Snapshot now is the data itself. Snapshot contains the connection state of the the HTTP that we sent out, and then now the data itself. That's the connection state. You want to now, when it's done, there are several methods here. You have connection state, waiting, connection state. Let me just remove this. You have connection state active. This one is when it's loading. And then you have done, and then none, and then waiting. But now what we need is done. It's done. That means the snapshot has data or doesn't contain data, so you can check what is returned. You can check snapshot what is returned inside that snapshot. But you say and check if it has data. If it has data, then that's what you do. What you want to do, that is consume the data. But let's say it doesn't have the data, so in that case, you do just return and we get tell you there's no data contained. So let me just add that some text here that says now that that condition runs and it's not true, then this is what you want to do now. You want to consume the data itself. So you consume the data that's inside a list view builder. This one creates use separated. Uh, this one creates a list of now items you want that is scrollable. So you want to create a list item builder, which can be anything, but let's use a list type. It's another widget inside Flutter. So to list type takes things like title. So you can set the title of this data to be equal to snapshot. That's data and index. At this index, then give me the title. As separator builder, this one can be anything, but let's use a divider for it. Must have context and stuff like that. So divider. Then we create a line after every post. Then the next thing is item count. Item count is just there to help Flutter know that the number of items we are creating for this data, then you just get length. Getting some errors here. So has to be true. Okay, let me just first of all return. This method here wasn't returning anything, so we're gonna make it return the posts. It's supposed to put it in the wrong place. It's supposed to be inside this function here. So return. So when this method is called, it will return this post here. But now it have the JSON, the list of posts inside it. So let's see it in action. We get in a save again. Okay. We just use the subtitle to be the body. So text. Text data, and then index of the data we have body. Okay, let me just call this method and see what it returns first before we do. I'm getting some errors here. So we check here also snapshot, but data is empty. We can just check this. It's data is not equal. It's is equal to null. Let me just do a first. It's not equal to null. Our data will be that. If it's equal to null, then say return a string that is it's empty. So the same thing for the second one. So no subtype. Just a check. It's not the. And yes, this should be. It's not snapshot that equal to null, and set our length to be snapshot data. Line. Otherwise, it's just say it's 0. Okay. Okay, let's first of all print out this data. See what is being received here. So we have to return something. Let's say center. Returning text that tells us it's that. Not really sure what this error is coming. Where this error is coming from. Oh yeah. There's this part. There's this if statement which nothing is checked. So at this point, the data is still loading. So let's start indicator that data is loading. That should work. So as you can see, the data was found, and this is the data itself now. It's inside the list here, from here. It's inside this list. This is the data. It's been printed out. So I guess I'll have to first of all promote this data into NAS safety before we can even do anything on it. I guess that might take some time for now. So I think we'll continue from here because we don't even have that time. So Simon, Simon, over.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah, are you done? Because I'm expecting something. Nilikuwa naona era.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I printed out the data itself.
umeprint. Kwani nilikuwa nimeangalia wapi? uh,
I'll have to first of all migrate the code to now safety.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I've been following. Though nini, kuna mali nimechanganyikiwa kidogo, but not that much. I think
Okay.
I watched the
We'll definitely
video. Yes.
we'll check it out on next Friday when you have the other event, so that you can finish it up.
Sure, we should. I don't know whether guys have questions or they are lost. Clinton,
Because the thing is, the errors I'm getting is not even errors; these are warnings.
okay.
But with the new Flutter 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
2.2,
Yeah.
everything has to be null safety. So I haven't
Okay.
checked into that concept. So
Yeah.
I'll have to check that. Then we can get back from there.
Sure. I've used the Typicode API myself. Maybe I can.
What?
Though I've used. I've done. I've used the
Abis?
Typicode API. I've used the similar API implementing. You can see it here. Can you see it? Can you
Yeah.
see my screen? Yeah,
Mm.
and
Yes.
maybe the expected output is something of this kind. Let me share my phone. The expected output is. Let me stop sharing this. Uh, the output is something of this kind. And that's my phone. Can you see my phone? Hey, can you see my phone?
No, no.
Yeah.
Check it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Now.
that's what we. Oh, my lock. That's what you are supposed to see at the end. I implemented the same thing in Android Studio, though I used Java. Yeah, so I was telling these guys that it's impossible to avoid APIs. It is very, very impossible. You will have to interact with them at one point or another in your life.
It's
So the guys,
actually yeah.
yes, actually,
It's actually what you'll find most apps being YouTube nowadays. So
sure.
APIs are everywhere.
The APIs are everywhere. You cannot avoid. You cannot avoid them, no matter the cost. But
Yeah.
yeah, and also I've done another app, but that one is confidential. You cannot just share it anywhere because we are still in the development. Yeah, but basically, I think This how we consume the API in Java, Android. Yeah, but still it's I think the concept is still the same, right? Because you have
So
to
still,
define the URL. Yeah. So no,
we lost you.
what about now? Can you hear
Good.
me?
Yes.
I believe that uh, maybe let me not say the end justifies the means, but at the end you are supposed to achieve something. No matter the route or the path you take. And last weekend, I I was invited for an interview. Though these guys were not specific, they wanted a Flutter guys, but they were interviewing Android developers. So uh, everything was okay. Oh, sorry, I've placed you on mute. Everything was very okay. So I would request guys to just send yourself as in G2 like make sure you learn something each and every day. Like today before I disappeared. Sorry guys. Yeah, I'm late. I was watching some documentary about the Titanic ship, but I was doing some research in converting an image into a string so that when I want to store this image, I want to store an image as a string. And the way I'm storing the image, I'm storing the image without using a database. I'm just using something known as shared preferences. Like when you toggle an app from light mode to dark mode, that state that settings is not in a database. It's just something known as shared preferences. So that's what I was trying to come up with, and maybe I'll be done today or tomorrow. So basically learn something each and every day. And also anybody aspiring to be a software developer, make sure you don't ignore APIs. Don't ignore them at any moment. Don't ignore them. So with that, those few remarks, I don't know whether Diana Juma has a question. Diana, can you hear me? What about Evans on Mushai? Evans, Evans, Evans. Uh, maybe he cannot get us. What about Clinton?
Yeah,
Clint,
yeah, I can get you.
yeah, and you've been consistent. Keep on. Once at the end, we will not benefit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing it
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
He's been demonstrating the stats well,
Uh-huh.
but this time there was a lot of background
What
noise, so I couldn't
background
get him
noise?
talking. But yeah,
Okay, we shall organize on how to nini to reduce the noise.
yeah. Yeah,
As
anyways,
ever,
it's been an awesome event.
sure. I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know whether Evans you can see the microphone some kind of a dialogue. Let me make you a presenter, Evans, so that you can. Evans, can you see anything like a dialogue on your screen? Clint, you can unmute yourself. You can mute yourself. Uh, maybe Evan is not in a position to. What about Diana? Diana. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for your time. Let's end the meeting. We shall meet next week on Friday. Chege, what will be the topic? No, Chege, you are now the principal. Diana, I've seen your message. Chege, maybe you can tell us next week's topics, or maybe you shall discuss. So